Girls in Prison, Dragstrip Girl, and The Cool and the Crazy are three classic B-movies from the 50s that have been updated and made into 90s TV movies, featuring Alicia Silverstone, Anne Hesh, and Ione Skye. Elisar Cabrera is not just a B-movie fan, but has set up an extensive website called Bubblegum, dedicated to the genre.
The fascination with B-movies is that they've always been more imaginative. There's always subject matters that the big studio players couldn't do, especially in the 50s, when they were aiming the movies at a new teenage audience. You know, and the films weren't about wholesome family values. It wasn't all about I Love Lucy. It was about teenage gangs and drugs and driving fast cars. So the three movies are all basically about juvenile delinquents. It's what happens when the good kid on the block ends up mixing with the bad kids on the block.
Hey, pretty lady, where you going, huh? We can take you there.
The original 1950s Cool and the Crazy was just really about young guys who get stoned all the time and end up committing crimes. This Cool and the Crazy is about a young married couple who have probably got married too young. The wife ends up straying, she ends up sleeping with the bad guy on the block. It's really a cautionary tale. You know, it's trying to re-examine 1950s values.
Let me give you a lift.
Thanks, but I don't think I should.
You don't think you should? Well, look, how about if I promise not to talk to you, huh? Honest, ain't you?
An always great thing about women in prison films is that usually you get quite an eclectic little cast, and it's always, because they're all stuck in the same prison, you're going to get these different characters, and it's always a little melting pot of American society.
Hey, new meat, nice catch.
Dragstrip Girl is less a remake of the original Dragstrip Girl, which was, again, it was just about kids who drive fast cars and just love it, and that's really all it was about. This Dragstrip Girl is more of a remake of West Side Story, the girl getting caught in between one gang or the other.
What are you looking at? Beauty, man. I'm looking at beauty. No, you're looking at ice, man, and you ain't got what it takes to melt it.
The great fun of the juvenile delinquent movies, and I think this really applies from the 1950s ones as well, is that they're always about the teenagers, the kids that perhaps you and I couldn't really have been, but we always dreamed, wouldn't it be cool if we could have been like that, or hang out with those? And that's really what the juvenile delinquent movies of the 50s were appealing to. It was appealing to those 1950s value kids, and just saying, well, what if you were just a little bit like this? The idea is that usually you'd have a teenager, maybe they're involved in a bad situation, maybe they're going out with someone bad, and usually you have the leather-jacketed drape guy, and he's the Fonzarelli, and he's violent, he's bad, he takes drugs, drives fast cars. And of course, what happens is that it's always a spiral downhill until at the very end they realize where they went wrong, and it's all back to Happy Families 1950s style.
More important than your career.
You always say